I slept with another man to prove to my mother-in-law and my husband that I am not barren. We live in a society where people wrongly believe that it's the fault of the woman when there is a delay in childbearing. Even the woman folks, to a large extent, believe same. This was my case until I decided to confirm if I was truly infertile, and that single misstep led me to this present regret. This is my story. I have been married to my husband for 5 years now. My husband was a caring, hardworking, considerate, and most loving man any woman would ever pray for. We lived happily in our two-bedroom flat and we never had any major issue. However, since we got married, I have been unable to conceive or give my husband an heir. At first, he was not too nail about it. He consoled me with assuring words that when God's appointed time comes, I will bear him a child. After 3 years of marriage, and I was still unable to bear him a child or children. People started raising eyebrows. I went to my hospital. I went to the hospital for various checks up. I checked up and nothing. I was confirmed nothing was wrong with me. Did a lot of fertile tests and all the results shows that nothing was wrong with me. If there was nothing wrong with me, why then can't I get pregnant for my husband? This thought or question kept eating deep inside me. My only hope of sanity was my husband, who constantly confronted me and told me to leave everything to God. However, the constant pressure from my husband's mother was unbearable. She made my life a living hell whenever she pays us a visit. To worsen the issue, my husband started withdrawing his care and attention from him. And when I confronted him, told me that my inability to give him a child has made him a mockery amongst his kindred. Every night I cried myself to sleep. My joy has turned to sadness. The only hope of sanity I have has turned its back on me. My mother-in-law has on several occasions called me a barren woman and threatened to send me packing out of my home. She even went to the extent of accusing me that I have had series of abortions that led to the damaging of my womb before I married his son. All these threats and insults were melted on me in the presence of my husband, and he just sat down without saying any words. I complained later of being untreated and accused forcefully by his mother, and all he could say was that I should confess if I lived. I have actually destroyed my womb because he sees no reason why I couldn't get pregnant like normal women. I cried all night because of the response I received from my husband, who was supposed to be my better half and confidant. My husband stopped eating the food I prepared for him and he started keeping late nights. His mom assumed the role of his wife and prepared virtually all his food. He could not bear it anymore, and I could not bear it anymore. I have been made an outcast in my own matrimonial home. I could not even bring myself to blame my husband for the change of his heart towards me. I knew I was barren. My mother-in-law was right. I was a barren woman. I cried and cried for 2 weeks until I had no tears left in me. I could not go to my parents because they were not fully in support of our marriage from the start. I was all alone, wallowing in self-pity. In this loneliness and mystery of mine, I was almost knocked down by a vehicle because I was not conscious of my surroundings anymore. Few weeks later, I ran into Kunle, an old friend of mine who has been asking me out since our university days, but I turned him down. Kunle noticed I was a shadow of myself and asked me what was going on with me. I burst into tears and narrated my predicament. He was so unhappy with how my life turned out and hated the fact that my so-called husband made the matter worse. He exchanged numbers and I left for home. One afternoon, I overheard my mother-in-law advising my husband to get another wife that would give her a grandchild or grandchildren. And after much pressure, my husband agreed. That was the height of it. I can't stand this anymore. I decided to prove them wrong that I wasn't barren. Neither was it my fault for not being able to conceive a child. 2 days later, I decided to pay Kunle a visit at the hotel where he lodged. We spoke at length, and he told me that he still thinks about me every day since we graduated from school. He was a consoling, and I couldn't hold back my tears while consoling me. We drew closer, put his arms round me, struck my hair, and started kissing me. Before I could before I could process the morality of my heart, I was already kissing him. That day at his hotel room, we made passionate love and I left for home. I felt bad when I got home because I had committed adultery. I have cheated on my husband. I hated myself for such act and swore never to see Kunle again, but it was too late. 2 weeks later, I started having early morning symptoms, sickness, feeling dizzy, and every now and then I'm looking pale. I went to the hospital to see a doctor and I was informed that I was 2 weeks pregnant. I almost collapsed at the hearing of the news. Now, how do I tell my husband, who hasn't slept with me for a year now, that I am pregnant? The news of my pregnancy revealed that I wasn't infertile nor barren. Probably my husband was the problem all this while. How do I tell my husband that I am now pregnant for another man? I am finished. The single misstep of my life has landed me into trouble. What do I do? I can't keep this from my husband forever and for long because it will surely reveal itself. Wow, this is an interesting story. Wow, this woman has really um, gone to a level that that would destroy our home. She shouldn't have made such a mistake, no matter what. Even if she's being pressured by her mother-in-law, she wouldn't have allowed that to weigh her down by making her sleeping or want to confirm if or want to prove to them if she's fertile or not. She should have prayed to God for God to intervene. Okay, now that she's pregnant for another man, what is her fate? Her husband would definitely take drive her off from the house, and she will now what will she now do? Getting married to two men. Wow, this is so shameful to her. It's a shameful thing. No matter what, no matter the pressure a woman or a wife is receiving from the mother-in-law or a husband, it shouldn't have warranted that woman going out to cheat on her husband. What the advice this person needs, this woman needs, is to pray to God, and there's nothing God cannot do. God's time is the best. Okay, him going out, she going out to another man to sleep with her, to watch because she wants to prove to her husband and her mother-in-law that she's fertile. It's a wrong decision. Oh, now look at what it has landed her. They have been asking her to confess, right? This is the time. Call the both of them on a faithful day. Let them let's tell them and let's tell them that they should let them confess. But before now, ensure you have informed the rightful owner of that pregnancy. Then tell the mother that you are pregnant for 2 weeks so that she can now understand where the infertility problem lies. And then remember that the man, his attitude towards you contributed to this current situation you found yourself. And then if he says you should leave, you can leave and find a way to take care of your baby alone or with the help of that man who impregnated you? What if this man refused to accept this pregnancy? What will you do? My dear, don't bother yourself with unnecessary worry. Just take heart, go to your parents, narrate the story to them. They will know how to handle the situation and inform Kunle so that he will be getting ready to welcome his baby. Please don't attempt abomination, even if Kunle is not ready to accept responsibility. Abortion is not the next line of action. That is it. My advice to you is to leave the marriage, especially when your mother-in-law has been giving you hell for years, when she and her son thought you were the problem. If they find out that the pregnancy is not theirs, they will still throw you out after DNA test. Then your life will be in danger. It will be a very moral of you to give another man's child to your husband, and a very grave sin to God, because one day the truth might come out. It will come out, not might, it will definitely come out. Your other man who got you pregnant might want to claim his child and even go to the court to fight it out. So it's better for you to be a single mother instead of being in a bag at a tender age. So this is not a do or die affair. No, not at all. You have to let your husband know and wait for his reaction, because he pushed you into this act. If he rejects you, then you can move on with your life. So, viewers, what is your own comment on this concerning what this woman did and proving that she is fertile to her mother-in-law and her husband? If you have any comments, drop them below the comment box. Click on the subscription button and also click on the bell button to receive notifications whenever I publish any new video. And don't forget to like this news and also share this news for people to also benefit and know what is going on in their communities.